Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in today's Kotlin tutorial, I'm going to talk about the loops in Kotlin. So we will discuss about all the types of loops in Kotlin. So first we are going to talk about the for loop, and in for loop I'm going to talk about how can we loop over a range. So for that I'm going to write a code first and then I will explain. Okay, so here for I in range from 1 to 5 means we are creating a loop that starts with 1 and goes up to 5, and the double operator here defines an inclusive range from 1 to 5, meaning it includes both 1 and 5. So each time the loop runs, I takes on the next value in the range, so it prints 1 2 3 4 and 5 here. Okay, so let's run this to see. Okay, so as you can see, it has printed values from 1 to 5 in a sequence. Now let's talk about how can we loop through an array here. So for that I'm going to create an array. Okay, so this is going to be a array of function, and I'm going to add three values here. First is going to be apple and then the banana, and here I will add grape. Okay, so here I want to loop through an array, so for that I'm going to write a code. So here I will print each item from this array. So I'm going to print fruit here. Okay, so here fruits is an array containing three strings: apple, banana and grape. So here in for loop, each element in fruits is assigned to fruit here one by one. So the loop prints each fruit in order: apple, banana and grape. So let's run this to see. Okay, so as you can see, it has printed all three values in the same sequence. Now let's talk about how can we use for loop with indexes, and for that I'm going to make changes in this for loop, and here I will add a braces here, and I will add index and fruit, and here I will change the method to with index. Okay, so now we can get the index and as well as the value in the array here. So the fruits with index method provides both the index and the element in each loop iteration. So the for loop assigns the index to index here and the value of string type to fruit here. Okay, so here we are going to print the index as well as the value here. So how can we do that? I will write a code. Here I will print the index value, and here I will print the fruit. Okay, now let's run this to see. Okay, so as you can see, it has printed the index value and also the fruit name as well. Okay, now let's talk about the while loop here. So for that I'm going to remove this code first, and I'm going to define a variable of counter, and I'm going to assign a value 1 here, and here I will write a while loop. Okay, so I'm going to put a condition So it should print the value until the value is greater than or equal to 5 here. So here I'm going to print value. And here I will increment this counter value as well. Okay, so let me explain this. So here we initialize counter with one value, and the loop condition, the counter is less than or equal to 5, keeps the loop running while counter is less than or equal to 5. So each time the loop execute, it print the counter followed by the counter variable value, and then it increments the counter value by 1. So this loop stops when the counter value exceeds 5. So let's run this to see. Okay, as you can see, it has printed values up to 5. So now let's talk about the do while loop here. So for that, I'm going to remove this code. Okay, so I'm going to create a variable with name num, and I'm going to assign a value 6, and here I'm going to add a do while loop here. So in do, I'm going to print the number. Okay, so and then I will decrement this number, and here I'll put a while condition. So it should run this loop until the value is greater than 5. So let me explain this. The do block runs first, printing the number followed by the value of this num variable. After printing num, it decrements the value of num by 1, and then the loop checks the condition if the number is greater than 3 after each execution of the loop body. So if the condition is true, it runs again. So when the condition becomes false, it will stop the iteration. So let's run this to see. Okay, so as you can see, it has printed all the values up to 3 here. So this is how you can use the do while loop. Now let's talk about some additional for loop options. So first we are going to talk about looping with step, and for that I'm going to remove this code, and I'm going to create a for loop here. I'm going to add a range from 1 to 10, and I'm going to add step 2 here, and I'm going to print the value of each iteration. Okay, so here step 2 makes the loop increment by 2 instead of 1 each time. So it prints 1, 3, 5, and so on up to 9. So let's run this to see. Okay, so as you can see, it has printed the same output. Now we will see how can we loop in reverse with downTo. So for that, I'm going to change the code here, and I'm going to write this code 5, and I'm going to use downTo here, and I'm going to add 1. So here downTo creates a decreasing range from 5 to 1. So the loop counts down, printing each value in a descending order. So let's run this to see. Okay, so as you can see, it has printed each value in a descending order. So now let's talk about exclusive range with until. So for that I'm going to change this code here, and here I'll see the loop will start with 1 and it will go until 5. Okay, so until basically excludes the last number in the range. So 1 until 5 stops at 4 instead of 5. So the loop will print 1, 2, 3, and 4. So let's run this to see. Okay, as you can see, it has printed the same output. So that's it for today's Kotlin tutorial. So if you like this video, please subscribe, share, and keep watching next video. So see you in the next video.